As the calendar turns to September, the fall semester rolls in, bringing foot traffic back to college campuses all around the country. Most fans turn their attention to the gridiron and the start of the football season. While fall brings dreams of big hits and touchdowns, the season also brings thoughts of serves and set points. For a trio of USF volleyball players, the connection between those two sports is far deeper than the sharing of the same semester. Erin, Joli Holland, and Dakota Hampton have fathers who have had the pleasure of playing at the highest level in the football profession. Fairs, a junior outside hitter and reigning American Athletic Conference Player of the Year, is the daughter of Eric Fairs, who was a standout linebacker at the University of Memphis and went on to have a 7-year career in the NFL.
When it comes not just to actually sports, like life in general, like he just expects more from me and my brother and my other sister. And also when it comes to sports, like he knows, he's gone through the recruiting process and all that kind of stuff, so he knows a lot and what we should, how we should act, what we should do and stuff like that. So I think he was very strict and like made sure we didn't get out of line and just kept us in a good place. Not too hard, but hard enough to keep us in a good place. Being a team player is probably like the biggest thing, and like I go off of that for anything I do. I'm much of a team player, and that's like kind of what I go by. Always like having good attitude is a good thing too. Like it's hard to play with someone that has a bad attitude, or it's like hard to deal with. So it's kind of like in every situation I always try to think, like try to be the more lenient, like okay, I can do this, try to do whatever makes stuff work, you know. And he's really been sharp about that.
Chasing after that dream causes for countless hours of preparation, especially as an NFL coach. Joli Holland, who is the father of freshman middle blocker Joli Holland, played 7 years in the NFL, all for the Green Bay Packers. The elder Holland has coached on the defensive side of the ball for years after his playing career ended, with stops in Green Bay, Houston, and Detroit along the way. Long hours and constant travel are all things Joli remembers while growing up during her dad's coaching career.
He worked very early in the morning from like 4 a.m. to like 11 at night. So it was very hard for him to make sporting events like volleyball games, my brother's football games. It was very hard for him to make those because football was a commitment and his players were literally like his second set of kids, you know. It's like basically another job of having a parent outside of being an actual coach, because you can teach players how to be not only great athletes, but you have to teach them life skills too, in order for them to be great athletes that the league wants them to portray, and they want them to be role models as well.
While Joli Holland's job forced him to devote the majority of his time to his profession, Joli also recalls many of the good times that she had growing up with an NFL coach for a dad.
It was just fun growing up, like going to the games every Sunday, you know, being with him every Sunday after a great win, being able to share time with players, that's really an experience that not a lot of people get, you know, growing up. And some of his players would even come to Thanksgiving when we grow up, and it was just so much fun. We were playing with the Texans, D'Amico Ryans, Brian Cushing, they all came over for Thanksgiving one year, and we were all playing dominoes and eating chicken wings and talking smack at each other. It was really funny, and it was one of the best memories I had of like actually feeling like, you know, being a part of, I felt like I was a part of what he did without actually having to physically be there all the time, you know. Like I felt like him and his players, we were a part of their family, their football playing family, even though we weren't always there all the time.
Dan Hampton is an NFL Hall of Fame defensive lineman who is best known for being a part of the Monsters of the Midway and a key member for the 1985 Super Bowl champion Chicago Bears. Dan is also the father of Dakota, who is a sophomore outside hitter for the USF Volleyball team.
I think the first memory was when I went to the Hall of Fame, when he was inducted. That was like when I realized, like, wow, this is a big deal, you know. Only a few guys are inducted into this in the whole entire world, so I thought that was pretty cool, and that's when I knew it was a big deal. It's like weird because to this day, if we're at the grocery store, people will still come up to him and be like, "You're Dan Hampton," da da da, you know. So it's funny to watch because I just think it's my dad, you know. But yeah, I mean, he was really humble about it. He never let me like watch anything that he played or anything. I've never seen him play besides somebody else showing me something. So definitely like he can relate to me, you know what I mean? Like if I have a question, hey, like I'm having trouble today, blah, 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 he just motivates me. And he knows how to do that because he's been at such a high level that he knows how to talk to me, and I think that's awesome.
Like a statue, they have been molded for the world of performing under a microscope and carry traits that others may not have. The valuable knowledge that these athletes learn from their parents and from the experiences of having a parent that has dealt with similar situations has prepared them for the peaks and valleys that comes with being a collegiate athlete.
My dad taught me great work ethic. He taught me how to be committed to something. Like once you start something, you should never quit on it. You should always persevere it, even when it gets tough. I've seen when things get tough in practice, things get tough in different situations. My dad has always buckled down and worked harder, and it's not only made him a better coach, but I see it in his players. Like players that really even, you know, in my opinion, I think at least, you know, the pros will put them out to be not that great, and they come out and they get Pro Bowls, and they come out and they just do amazing. And half of that is them, but I also know that my dad is a great coach, and I know that he puts in a lot of work to make them great, and he has their best interests at heart. So I'm very proud of him for that, and I'm very happy that he gave that trait to me, and I hope I affect my teammates in a positive way.
He always stresses on the fact of like being smarter than the next person. Basically, like, okay, there's a lot of athletic people and people that can do the same thing as you, but like, who can think faster, who can do what you need to do at that point? So I think in volleyball is a great example. Like, everybody can hit the ball hard, everybody can do the basic skills, but it's who's smarter than whoever at that time. So that's a big thing that helped me out.
I'm very competitive, and he is one of the most competitive people that I know. So even when we golf together a lot, so when we're golfing, I mean, we compete, and you know, he gives me a few strokes, but you know, it's always a constant competition with him. I definitely inherited that. I would say that trait's the biggest trait that I have from him. My dad was very big on preparation. He was big on being on time. He's big on the little details, and if you can't do the little details right, then how can you expect to do the big things right? You know, and that's something I'm really glad that he taught me too. Being very punctual and just being sure that you do everything you need to do to prepare, whether it be stretching, whether it be rolling out, whether it be looking at film or plays, or just staying hydrated, all those things. Well, he always told me, like, when you're going against your own team, that's when you should go the hardest, because that's what's making your team better. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter first string, second string, third string. You need to make each player better, because that's how you get better. You know what I mean? That's how you improve your whole entire team all over. Like, so that competitiveness, you have to bring that on the court every single day, practice or game. I mean, just playing even with Joli and Dakota, it's like, we just have something different. It seems different. Like, don't get me wrong, like a lot of our teammates here, most of them are very, very competitive, but it's kind of like our dads give us a little bit, something different. I don't know exactly what it is, but they give us something that makes us like crazy about competitiveness.
Those principles and the obvious inheritance of athletic ability have these three pillars for the USF volleyball team poised for the journey of chasing glory and not becoming satisfied with good, but striving for greatness.
He's definitely proud, but he's like, that's not the most you can get. That's not the most you can get. You can do better than that, you know? Which I expect out of myself also. Like, yes, like those are amazing awards. I'm very humble about them, but like, I still want to be even higher than where I am now. I think people think that my dad being Dan Hampton, like, got me to where I am today, but I think that you have to earn where you come from. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter who your parents are, or who you know. Like, you have to work for that position. So I am proud of like myself and like all the help from my parents and everything that they've given me to get to this position that I am.